All right, guys. Well, welcome to our live.
Here we are.
Here we are with our live discussion. But like I said before, so I'm going to repeat myself again. Both Bash and I have completed RE9. I've only done it one time. He's currently finishing up his second playthrough. And before we jump all into the nitty-gritty of things, let's talk a few months back of the events that led up to everything, our expectations, our worries, etc., etc. So, Bash.
Yes, sir.
So, I guess where I could start with is when you saw the reveals and everything and the trailers and the rumors and yada yada yada. What were your, I guess, your pros and cons, your worries, your hopes? Like, what was your feeling going through all that?
Yeah, so when everything first kind of got announced and we saw that initial trailer, in my head, I said to myself, we are back in Resident Evil 7. They're going to give us another green, another character that hasn't cut their teeth in the Resident Evil land, much like Ethan Winters.
Right.
We're going to be back into that same vibe. I felt like we were going back to just kind of the Resident Evil 7 no-name protagonist, new story, and then things changed with an additional trailer. But I'll leave that thought for the next follow-up.
Well, that was my follow-up. So, were you one of the people following all the supposed spoilers or rumors, all that stuff? Were you buying into any of it? Of like, so-and-so is in it, or he's not in it, or she's in it, and she's not in it. Like, did you believe any of it?
So early on when we were getting the, I'm going to leave the person's name off because I think we all know.
Yeah.
The infamous leaker, but hearing, it's going to be a moon cult. There's going to be Wendigos that you're coming after, and you're on an island and off of the Asian coast. Yeah, I was following up with all that kind of stuff because it's kind of hard with just the algorithm and everything else not to see some of it.
Right.
But you take it with a grain of salt. The tinfoil hat lead in to any of these new releases is always kind of enjoyable because then you can do what we're doing now and you look back and you say, I remember when they said it was going to be like this, but really we got that. And there's a little like sprinkle of this element that was going to be the big part of the game that's within the game. So then you wonder how much of this is like play testers that leak stuff or early builds or concept art, stuff like that.
Like for me during all that, like I think I've been following it for like 3 years. It feels like at least 3 years.
About 3 years, yeah.
So it's been stuck in development hell for a while because the game has been worked on and off and scrapped, reworked a lot according to the rumors and stuff. Like RE9 was supposed to be this, and they scrapped it for this. So it's been in its longest development ever, according to a lot of reports.
Yep.
As for my expectations, I didn't really have any I know a lot of people were a lot of doom and gloom, oh man, they're going this way, just based on rumor and speculation of, they're going this way. I don't know. That's not the Resident Evil I know or remember, and what are they thinking and stuff. And then we got the first reveal trailer, and we saw Grace, and then we saw the connection with Alyssa and Outbreak, and there was a lot of hype behind that. But I also feel that some were disappointed that they got no, because again, according to the leaker or the rumors, that so-and-so was supposed to be a part of this as well. And when they didn't show that person, pretty much a lot of people were panning it right out the gate. Because, say with the Ethan Winters thing, where completely new person, we know nothing about this person. Are they trying to deviate away from the core four of the Jills, the Chris's, the Leons, and the Claires, But as you know, the internet and
internet
the leak,
will internet.
Yeah, and I also blame Sony a little bit, even before the other trailer came out, it was leaked on the PlayStation Store. That
was mind blowing when the icon got released.
Yep.
Got released.
Yeah, when the cover got re-updated with Leon in the background, like there, boom, and then like what, 2 days later, 3 days later, I think no, it was the same week, and then they finally revealed it.
They pulled it immediately, and then we got the next trailer.
Yeah. So
and that was a moment.
It was a moment. So I know for me, my expectations were pretty balanced. I had a feeling that I was not going to be disappointed with this game. Not to say that I my expectations were at high, but like I didn't care. I just wanted a Resident Evil. Well, however they do it, that's just how I am. I can't speak for anyone else, but I know some people within our community had some of their doubts, and they were worried.
Right. So I will say, for me, after Resi 6 and the Revelations 2 was nice when that got released, but like I've been around with this franchise since the beginning, and when it kind of got to a point where it was almost borderline, how do we make it more over the top than the next iteration was beforehand, and so on. When 7 dropped and it went first person, I actually slept on that game for a couple years because I was not into, okay, we went from 6 to now we're having this first person. What kind of style are we going for? And I felt like, it was definitely more developed for VR, which I didn't have. And I waited. And then when I finally played it a couple years later, I was like, wow, this is actually really good. This feels more like I'm playing kind of the original in first person, where it's obviously different enemies and all that stuff, but more strictly survival horror again.
Yeah, like with RE7, like I like RE7, but I'm the complete opposite with like the first person did kind of turn me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it felt like it was scary, but it felt like PT. That's what it felt like at first. It felt like if you guys played PT when it came out, when it dropped on the PlayStation Store before it got scrapped, that's what it felt like. Not necessarily a bad thing, but like I'm not really into first-person games all that much. Then again, I love Dying Light, but that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different story. But so like we got the Leon leak and then the reveal. And then we got the bigger content creators, the people above our pay grade, getting access to the demo and being invited out to try it out, yada, yada, yada. Then gameplay was coming out. And I know some people were showing too much, and it kind of like, some people liked it, some people didn't,
Were you surprised we never got the demo?
I was, because we always got a demo.
Yeah.
Even with RE4 remake, we got a demo. RE2 remake, we got a demo. 7, we got a demo. 8, we got a demo. 9, we didn't get a demo. So I was generally surprised that we didn't get a demo. And that's the only time that really worried me a little bit about this game, is one of two things. When a company does not want you to release your review until day of a game. But if they, and if they don't put out a demo, which Resident Evil has been known to release a demo. But we didn't get a demo, but the NDA for reviews came out days before release, and they were very high and good. So, like, it's one of those things. So,
I was very intrigued just where this whole thing was going to go in general, because going back to the 7 comment, and then we had the remakes, and the remakes were really good. 2 was great, 4 was great, 3 they dropped the ball. 3 we don't need to hammer into that.
3 is good, just a bad remake.
Yeah,
it's a fun game to play, but it didn't get the tender loving care that 2 remake and 4 remake got.
So going into this, I was like, okay, if we go back to the 7 vibe and it's more strictly survival horror, I'm here for it. But like, I want this thing, especially because we knew Alyssa Ashcroft was involved.
Yeah.
It's got to have good tie-ins to the lore. Resident Evil does this great thing where they introduce an idea and then forget about it and nothing happens. And it's like, why did we spend an entire game?
So that's the thing. So let's jump right into RE9. And I will say this much. And I see people's comments just out, on, social media, and even here on the chat, that about the story and the plot. And here's my thing. Resident Evil has always had good lore behind it. That we know, but when it comes to story plot, this again, I'm speaking for myself. People are expecting a masterpiece of story like The Last of Us. I think they set come on, guys. Of all the Resident Evil games we've gone through so far, if you're so wound up about story at this point, then I don't know. That's just how I feel on it. Was this story great? No, it wasn't great. But did I enjoy it? Yes. I don't nitpick every little plot hole or every little issue wrong with said story. Well, this doesn't make sense. Well, this doesn't make sense. We're playing a Resident Evil game. It never makes any sense.
Yeah, and I think with the remakes and with this, it's just, how do we try to then take all that lore and then make a story?
But now we got different timelines. Now you think about it, we got the remake timelines and we got the original timelines. Which one are we following? Which one is gospel? Which one is gospel now? Is the original trilogy?
This one you could even say it's telling you Leon A is canon. The game basically is well, this is how RE2 went, and that's interesting in itself.
Yeah,
but man, like you said though, all the different timelines and everything, and we still haven't gotten an ending in RE1 where Barry, Rebecca, Jill, and Chris all leave together.
Yeah,
we still haven't seen that.
Nope. But
what were your thoughts when you saw after the Leon leak by Sony, and then Leon was in it? When you saw that trailer then, and you see Leon finally show up,
I was happy. Leon's my favorite character. I was happy.
Yeah,
I know some people weren't, but Leon is the most popular character, especially in Japan. So was not surprised with him being the other main protagonist. Now, I understand some people what about Claire? What about Jill? They were in Raccoon City when it all went down. How come they're not infected? There's lores behind that and all that stuff. I didn't take the time to do a deep dive on it, but I'm sure there's answers out there, the reasons why. Jill, why she didn't get it. Well, she's been infected with this, that, and the other. If you played 5,
right.
Claire, I don't know. She left and tried to find her brother. I don't know. I really don't know.
And who's to say that they aren't infected? And then we also see, repercussions from them getting the Elpis vaccine, and
maybe, so I understand certain characters not being in it because they're ties to Raccoon City, but Leon, granted, he wasn't in the very first Resident Evil game, but at this point, he's the poster boy of Resident Evil. I mean,
and to be fair, with everything Nick Apostolitis did with the character, going back to Resident Evil 2 remake,
yep,
the way he was in Resident Evil 4 remake, and knocking it out of the park now with a grizzled veteran Leon, the range of that voice actor, it was very impressive to me. Hearing him in this, it's whoa.
Don't get me started on the thirst trap videos that are out there already. So come on, people, let's be real. They weren't doing that for Chris in 7 and 8. He had his chance. They didn't care. But anyways, so day of game releases, we jump into it. I know you were ahead of me because you played, you streamed it for how many hours on day one?
That was the longest of the channel. I actually took a personal day that day. I was fired up. Lynn's told me I pretty much jumped out of bed that day.
It was Christmas morning.
Yeah, she's grown ass man about a video game. It's don't judge me. Actually, judge all you want. Yeah, we went for 9.5. I was so excited to just jump in and play it. And it's one of those things, I will say, when you do kind of these streams and it almost is an outer body experience, and you don't even realize how long you're doing the stream. That's how that felt for me. It just kept flowing, and I was initially feeling oh man, are we gonna jump back and forth this quick between these two characters.
Yeah, they pretty much introduced you to that right out the gate within the first couple hours of gameplay, that you're gonna ping pong, and then finally you're on Grace for a while. Then you think to yourself, all right, so this is the Grace portion at the hospital. Once we get to Raccoon City, it's gonna be mostly, if not like 95% of it, being Leon all the way through.
And I think just the pacing, once you got to that Grace portion, it just flowed. I think that was a well-designed with the key items and kind of introducing you to her combat.
Yeah.
And it just flowed.
I know a lot of people were worried about, like, how are they going to integrate both the stories, you know, without, you know, and I think they did it really well. Ping-ponging back and forth. And it did, honestly, like, playing through the Grace portion to Leon, and this might hurt my wife's ears, I enjoyed the Grace portion a lot more than Leon's.
Right.
And I'll explain that later once we talk more about Leon. As we start with Grace and and everything, and the House of Horrors that she had to deal with, between a chef and a singing ladies and Chunk and Chunk's brother, and like all those things, you felt helpless, and it felt great. Like it felt like Resident Evil. It felt scary that you felt helpless until you learned how to craft, and then you craft all these little, you know, with the blood and all that stuff. Yeah. The puzzles, you know, to upgrade the thing and all that stuff was pretty neat.
It was cool having the antique coins again, and getting those upgrades, hunting for those things.
Yeah, I didn't have a hard time finding a lot of those. Like, as soon as I had enough, I bought everything that was locked up. I did mess with the roulette table stuff. Did you ever toy with that at all?
So I did. So I was intrigued by a couple of these things in this game that you kind of stumble upon in your first playthrough. And the roulette wheel, I kept spinning that thing, and I was like, it's just landing on like a couple different numbers, and I was figuring that might be a code for something.
No, you had to shoot the number in order to pick the number.
Then, yeah. I see, after I played,
I didn't know that until afterwards.
After I played through the first time, I'm like, okay, now I can, as you had your band, now I can lift my own band and see some of these like secrets and some of the stuff I may have missed. And when I saw that video, I was like, oh, we have to hit the roulette wheel on the second playthrough and get that antique coin. And that's just another cool little addition in the game that, you know, somebody figured out, and, you know, you get a nice reward for it. But that, they also did that with the antique coins just in general, where if you didn't go after like this, like I didn't kill both singers as Grace in my first run. I took one of them out as Leon. And it's like, oh, if you take them both out as Grace, those are 2 coins right there. So it gives you options.
I killed her both, I
collecting.
believe, with Grace. I believe. I can't remember. But yeah, I think I killed both of them with Grace.
Did you like the different like personalities to the zombies?
So see, I enjoyed it. I know some people didn't like it or were kind of turned off by that. Oh, I'm being raided.
Let's go.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm being raided. Hello, raiders. I'm kind of in the middle of a review, so hi, I'm Havoc. That's Bash.
Hello.
Hello. But thank you for the raid. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your community with mine. I was like, what the deuce? I'm being raided on Twitch? I expect that on YouTube, but on Twitch? That's crazy. Hello, we are also just playing RE9 and wanted to continue the RE love. Well, thank you for the love. Well, thank you. Well, look, oh, now I'm all warm inside. Thank you. I feel all fuzzy and warm. Have you completed RE9 yet? That's the real question, because we are talking about spoiler stuff.
Yes.
So, like, I don't want to spoil anything because we are talking spoiler stuff. So if you got to bounce or raid and bounce, I completely understand. Yeah. Go. Leave. Thank you. I'll check out your stuff later. Thank you for the raid. I will say, loving RE9, and I guarantee you'll love it too.
Hell yeah.
Anyways, back. So, personality zombies. I enjoyed it. I liked it. I know some people didn't like it. They, someone, Kevlar, likes the traditional zombie of just walking around sloshing and not talking. I like it in a sense that they just kind of evolved over time. And with this new strand of T virus and all that stuff, they're a little. It kind of reminded me a little bit of not only Shaun of the Dead, but Day of the Dead.
Yeah. That is the Day of the Dead is exactly where my head was at, kind of seeing.
Well, they start getting
things and.
But what up, bub? Like getting personality and stuff like that, and you know, motor skills, all that stuff.
And it's even cool using that to your advantage, like with the light switches or getting the one zombie that hates noise to attack an other zombie in your favor. Like that was a nice addition. Again, a nice little addition to the overall.
Like gameplay. I don't view change as necessarily a bad thing. Depending on what it is, and I didn't see an issue with it. I know some people did. I didn't. I thought it was kind of funny. Because it tells me they once had a life, that they once, you know, had memories of stuff. So like they have, you know, they were somebody. It gives them more depth in a weird way.
That last shred of humanity that exists within them.
And it's funny. So I still had a little bit of a jump, and I already knew it was coming. Because of the demo that people got to play of the big monster, when you get first introduced with that, where just comes out of nowhere, grabs the I think it was a doctor, dead body doctor, just picks it up and bites its head off.
Oh yes.
That, and when you see
what is now known as the girl, then the hag or Big Mama.
Some people thought it was Alyssa.
Everybody wanted that.
It was either Alyssa. It was either Alyssa or Lisa Trevor.
Trevor, yeah.
Those were the two people. Were like the thousands of people making videos. Oh, this is the reason why this is Lisa Trevor. Oh, this is the reason why it's Alyssa. Completely different. Nope. And then same thing with Chunk. When he first came out, I knew he was gonna pop up there, and I forgot all about it. And then boom, right there.
Oh man, that whole thing too, the way they introduced some of these other stalker enemies and the way they behaved, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant to have different styles.
Oh, yeah, because they had Chef on one side of the building and they had Chunk on the other side of the building.
Yep.
So they had two stalkers at one point, and even the singing ladies would follow you around sometimes if you didn't kill them right away. So like the whole Grace stuff in the hospital, I loved it. The puzzles were good. The things to figure out, they weren't in past RE games. Sometimes the puzzles could be annoying or frustrating. But they were good. What did you think of the whole Grace experience?
You know, I really enjoyed it. I played it in first person on the first go, and second go here.
See, I didn't. I was third person.
I went just pure default on that first run, and I've enjoyed both styles. It's interesting to see the stumbling in third person, and in first person, it just almost feels like, why am I running in quicksand? You know, it feels like I should be faster. And then when you think about it and you see it in third person, it's like, well, we're kind of seeing why and how they want to kind of keep you from being at a certain speed.
Yeah, that's how they balance it, I guess, yeah. I think they mentioned that in a video.
The injector, once you get that cooking, you know, you go from having that little handgun to the Requiem, which you're really conserving the ammo, to then the injector. That's when you kind of felt a little confident, and then they drop you into that basement area going for those power nodes. And that's just a whole nother level of nuts. I thought that was another great bit of gameplay for her to have, where it made perfect sense for her character to be in that situation.
Yeah, got to sneak around, and that was was a little tough. That part, like, we go from there, and then we bounce to Leon, completely different. And I will explain why I preferred Grace's compared to Leon, simply because as much as I love Leon, and I enjoyed the Leon gameplay, don't get me wrong, he is OP as hell. There was not one time I felt like I was in dire stress of worrying about anything. At all, really. I mean, I died a few times here and there, but I didn't feel like
you're like, I got this.
I got this. Like he's Leon fucking Kennedy. You're like, he's John Wick at this point.
And dude, there's so many moments in that where I was bringing up John Wick, especially when you're getting the gun tilts and the moving around the corner the way he was doing, and just some of the gun fu moments as well were sick. The finishers are amazing. The little things that people were worried about when they were seeing some of the trailer and saying, is this going to be RE6 all over again with him? And it's like,
it was fun. It was fun.
If you played that and then you played RE9, it almost makes you feel like when they eventually not make a remake, but just a reinvention of Resident Evil 6, gameplay like that.
I feel like RE6 wished it was I think RE6 was hoping what RE9 would be for them.
100%.
Like,
and those initial Leon moments when you're in the street and you start cooking with the hatchet and you're getting some of those kills smashing a head against the car and stuff like that, like, it makes you forget how powerless you feel as Grace, and then boom, you're back in her shoes and you're like, oh, here we go.
Yep. I mean, what can I say? I like to struggle a little bit. I want to feel like I earned it a little bit. Whereas Leon, like, I enjoyed it. Like, I like all the nostalgia moments and all the little Easter eggs they hit with it. It did great. It did what it needed to do for me. But I did feel like I struggled at all. At all.
Yeah.
Like, so, like, that's the only downer I have for myself personally is the Leon portion. Loved it, but, like, incredibly OP. And I get it. He's got years of experience. He's been through it and seen some shit. So this should be a walk in the park for him. So I get that. But I don't know. I just would have been.
You definitely said it. That those Leon sections were just a nostalgia.
Like for you. Like, did you feel worried at all when you were Leon going through Raccoon City? Any worries?
No. That was when the game hit that moment and it just opens up, and you're Leon. It's like almost like Leon Playground, Raccoon City.
Yep.
There's moments it's just like, oh, I can snipe these zombies from up above. You know, I can go search this area, and oh, look, here's an explosive, and I'm going to go back for that crate. And there's just so many of these little things that were adding up that were just then also making you more powerful. You get the bracelet.
I feel like what they should have done is they should have double the amount of enemies that Leon had to deal with.
They could have.
I felt like the enemies they threw at him.
Insanity? I don't know.
Maybe. Because I haven't tested Insanity yet, but I feel like they need to add more enemy volume to his portion of the game, because I don't feel like they throw enough at him, honestly.
Yeah.
Like when I see like 3 or 4 enemies like in front of me, I could take them all out easily. Like, no worries. I could sneak up, get an insta kill on this one, shoot one, and then a kneecap, get an insta kill on that one with the hatchet, and you know. Like, it did, just the combos for him is just ridiculous.
So when you got the bracelet at the BSAA site in Raccoon City, and then you start getting points, how did you like that?
I thought it felt like an arcade game, like all these enemies I'm killing because I try to get the high score. It was kind of funny.
I enjoyed getting like how they worked in an integration of what would be like a merchant.
Yeah,
you know. Because I figured there was going to be gun parts that you just found, like in the remakes, and I was totally cool with that. But when they hit us with that, it fit. That was the thing. It actually fit the vibe for when you're playing as him, and I didn't skip a beat. I just kept going and was just locked in at that point. Let's kill everything. Let's get all the points. Let's buy all this stuff. It's like RE4 all over.
So I will piggyback off of Thomas's comment. Graphics are absolutely amazing. I will say that this game is by far probably the best looking RE game to date. I dare I say probably the most amazing looking game right now on modern console and whatever you're playing on. Like this game feels like I'm playing a next gen game. Just
totally agree.
The RE with the upgraded REX engine now, like it's by far. And I heard it's even better on the PS5 Pro. So like graphically, this game was beautiful.
Even in the grayscale Raccoon City, it was cool to see that with such like a monotone look, but then for it to still be like some sunlight.
Yeah.
You know, it was even that, like when something can be so kind of, I don't want to say bland, but very monotone. You know, we all remember a couple generations ago where everything had that like brown scale to it.
Yeah.
And everything lacked color. This game looked so good, and even in the muckiest, dirtiest parts of the game, it still shined.
And speaking of the way it looked, if they would have added this with the Raccoon City portion of the game, like dynamic time change. Imagine running through the streets of Raccoon City in the dark.
Oh, and yeah. And then more enemies maybe come out at night, and you have a whole other situation.
I mean, it's like Dying Light, but like if you can see your enemies from afar, like you said, you were just sniping things from afar. Imagine when it's dark, you don't see. You hear them, but you can't see them.
Yeah.
So if they had like a dynamic time change throughout, like while you're patrolling Raccoon City and stuff like that, that'd be kind of neat. But
you just described.
You get both, like you get a like
what's going to be the bonus mode?
Yeah, you probably
City, hunting these things down, and then you have the time change, and then it gets even crazier.
Like I mean,
I would be down for
like
that.
You get double the points. The enemies are tougher in the nighttime. You get double the points after every kill. You know.
Oh my gosh, that would be sick.
Take it easy, Emma. Oh, by the way, guys, Emma dropped a review of her own. She posted the link in my Discord. Definitely check it out. She did like a 15-minute video. Check it out. She does her own personal review on her thoughts and theories. So definitely check it out. If one of my mods could grab the link from the Discord and drop it into the chat, I would appreciate it. It's in the promote section in the Discord.
Appreciate you for being here, Emma.
But yeah, like that'd be kind of neat. But maybe that's gonna be a game mode or something. I don't know. It'd be kind of neat.
I think about
night mode.
This, yeah, like their assets in general, and the amount of time that they've spent developing some of this stuff, and when you can just kind of reuse those things, and
it saves time.
Repurpose them, yeah, 100%. And you know, if you think about the size that we kind of had in that Raccoon City portion, that would be a great like just map to like sandbox some nonsense into.
But yeah, so. We got through the Grace portion. We jump into the Leon stuff. Easy peasy. So, I guess the big question is, was there ever a moment, an OMG moment for you, Bash, that something you didn't know, that wasn't spoiled to you, that you got to first experience, like, holy shit, what was that moment for you? The very first one. What was your first moment?
The first one?
Yeah.
Trying to think if I had something in the hospital.
Well, we have this.
But for me,
go ahead.
Honestly, what really kind of made me, that wasn't just like an oh shit, this was great gameplay, great little segment here. When you see like the Xeno character.
Yes.
The first time I saw that, I was like, God, I knew it.
Were you like that can't be Wesker? Like, no. Yeah? No? No. Right?
Okay.
No.
My dude's wearing white now. That was like such an oh shit moment. But then when you're hearing the name, it's like, it's Resident Evil. I don't trust anything. But that was definitely the very first one where it really like kind of
Yeah,
I was in shock.
That was for me.
Shock.
And then obviously you learn more about the cloning stuff, and then you're like, okay, he's got to be a clone. Like once you find out more about the cloning stuff in the background and all that stuff, then you're like, all right, he's a clone of Wesker. They got somehow they got Wesker's DNA stationed somewhere, and they're trying to remake him and stuff, and so
it's like Thomas is saying, and smoking cigarettes too. Yeah. Dude's wearing white, Andy's smoking darts. He's not my Wesker.
No, not my Wesker. That was a moment for me. The tyrant dropping down. That was definitely a moment. Hey, what's going on, Chaos? Like, I'm like, really? And
so I was coming from going towards the hallway where the liquor zombie from RE2 is dead. His jaw's missing. You see his skeleton. That was cool.
Yeah.
Coming down that hallway, I saw Tofu like pop his head out.
I did not see Tofu. You got the Tofu appearance. I didn't.
Yeah, and that was another big one. Just I didn't know that was a thing, and I just kind of stopped. I was like, what just happened? And I had to look down at my preview and then see it again and say, like, that was legit the Tofu character on the outside of the RPD.
Did you shoot at him?
On the second playthrough. So in the second playthrough, I got it where you get the JoJo key in the TV. And I was coming down, he was peeking, and I fired the silenced pistol, and it made this goofy-ass noise.
Yeah, I didn't get the Tofu thing. I saw it in a later playthrough after I completed mine. I'm like, oh, yeah, Tofu. Yeah, okay, makes sense. But
like, there's so many in the RPD. The Rebecca photo.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Freaking Wesker, freaking Gooner, man. Freaking Creeper. It's hilarious.
That was so good. It was so good. Like, just
see
they had
the
to
lore.
Put it in.
See the lore right there, guys. That's what I'm saying. The lore is a lot better than the stories sometimes you get. Like freaking Tofu.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, like Tofu.
But yeah, the tyrant reveal. I'm like, oh god. Like some people are thinking that was the original tyrant that you dealt with at RE2. Like, no, you killed that one. Some people forget
to in half.
Yeah, sometimes people forget to remember. Granted, this could be a clone or a repurpose of one, but there were 6 other tyrants roaming Raccoon City during all that as well. I'm sure they were all destroyed when the Raccoon City was bombed, but that was not the original Mr. X that you dealt with back in 1998.
When dude's chucking missiles.
Yeah, dude is throwing missiles at you, man.
That was nuts.
Oh god. That was a good moment. Yeah, going into the STARS office, looking around in that area was neat. Going to the one area where you go in RE2 Remake, where the original liquor was at in RE2 Classic, but when you go down there where the one dead cop was with his jaw like dislocated and ripped out in RE2 Remake that you come across.
Yeah.
And you see the remains of him over there. Cops are still wandering around the freaking RPD after all this time, apparently, for almost 30 years.
Too.
That's
the dude banging on the vending machine again. That's total throwback to RE2R.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of things. I wanted more. Like, the only thing I was kind of, I wouldn't say angry, but just disappointed. I felt like we didn't have enough time in the RPD. We spent so much time outside roaming Raccoon City, but once we got to the RPD, unless you checked every single thing, you could have been in and out of the RPD within 20 minutes. Like, if you knew what you were doing. I felt like they needed to do more in the RPD.
I agree with that. It was a small section. There was a bunch of little things, like you had the typewriter in there too. You had one of the puzzles, like he was like, that was a weird puzzle, remembering that back from Resident Evil 2. So those are cool moments, but it would have been nice to see more of
the Marvin Easter egg. You go to the office, you get the Marvin Easter egg. You see his name placard and the note and everything, and Leon gets the memories of meeting Marvin for the first time. So
I'm thinking about it. It's like just a little bit longer than in the original Resident Evil 3 when you go back to the RPD.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit more opened up if you think about the overall layout and what you're able to actually visit. I like the way that you went to Kendo's though, from the second.
Yeah, that was
out the wall.
That dude, that when we get out of the RPD, and did you before you went up towards Kendo's, did you walk around in the parking lot area, the underground parking lot area?
Yes,
that was neat. But yeah, once you make your way toward Kendo's, man, like the heartstrings, man. I'm like, oh, damn. And then you see the remains of his daughter. Damn,
that was heavy. Like that was some good. You know, you don't get a lot of that kind of heavy hitting stuff in Resident Evil. Often it's more like lighthearted than not for what the subject matter is. But that was pretty heavy for the series.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Going down, dealing with the plants after the tyrant, like that was crazy too.
Yeah. So I'm glad. We fought the tyrant, which I think was probably my favorite fight in the whole game.
It felt like, again, you brought this up, but I will throw this little dash of spice on it. Those Leon moments where you never really fear like too much.
No, not at all.
The fights are, it's intense. It honestly feels like in certain moments, this is like ripped from one of the CG movies, but like toned down just enough that it doesn't feel like anime.
Right.
And that fight was so freaking good when he started chucking cars and he was all pissed. And of course, we had to shoot the missile to turn him into a super tyrant.
Yeah,
we had to get the Leon. God damn it!
But then again, Leon can parry cars and shit, so it doesn't really matter at this point. That's what I'm saying. Like, I love the Leon part, but he is so OP. You never felt like you were really in danger. And then,
right.
And a 49-year-old Leon, still with his snarky one-liners, was just awesome. Like everything, like he sees the tyrant. Oh, I remember you. He gets hit. Yep, still remember that. Like, yep. So yeah, we get through the tyrant. It's a breeze, and I did not expect a Plant 43 at all.
Not at all.
Because we didn't fight. So in RE2, so we go against Plant 42 at the Spencer Mansion.
Yeah.
We get introduced to Plant 43 in RE2, but we don't fight Plant 43. We fight his little, I forgot the little
Ivies.
You never fight the full-on Plant 43. So I'm glad they kind of introduced, like, yeah, it is still here, so enjoy. That fight was really easy.
Yeah.
Just opens up, shoot it. Like, easy peasy.
It was like, you wanted it, here it is,
yes.
Kill it, dead.
And I'm all for nostalgia, like, factors and everything, like, and reintroducing and, like, to make you feel a certain way. So, like, that was neat. I enjoyed it. Not every fight, I guess, boss fight needs to be on a Bloodborne, Elden Ring type, scale.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
And that happened so close after the tyrant fight.
Yeah.
I was almost in shock when that popped off. I was like, another one.
Yeah, it was like back,
like
boom,
just
boom.
Done with this.
Yeah. Get through that, and then we start making our way to Ark?
Yeah.
Because Xeno still has Grace. And then we make our way to Ark. But before we even leave the RPD, probably the most frightening part of the whole freaking game was the kids at the orphanage part.
Oh yeah, we can't skate over that.
No. That part is, granted, it's like a 10-minute part. Because I think your what character was like in 1990? The setting was 1991. Yeah,
1990, February 1990.
And
I know from the calendar on the wall.
like it was like freaking Village of the Damned, man. Like what the hell? And that was just nightmare fuel right out the gate. And
I mean, it was like, again, almost like a Resident Evil 2 callback. It's like, here's your little Sherry section, but it's going to be even more messed up than like Pedo, Chief Irons.
right. Were they any of them able to get you? Did you ever die by any of them or no?
No, I think I did die.
I died
when
once.
You get to when they jump out of the window when you're in the lower portion going towards like his little torture area.
Oh, so they got you out when they jumped. They were like throwing themselves off and landing. That's
when
how
they were standing then in the hallway.
That's what they got me. Yeah. That's what. Yeah. So yeah, I open the door. I come around the corner, and they're just standing there outside a door. I'm like, okay. I take a step forward. One of them turns around, that quick turns, beelines for me, and grabs me, and then snaps my neck. I'm like, okay. What am I supposed to do?
So that was not the way. Yeah.
So, but yeah, apparently it was the way. 'Cause you just got to be patient. You got to wait until they walk in through the door in order to get through the door. But yeah, so that whole portion, crazy. Finally escaping, making your way up, getting a little backstory with that. Then we make our way to
cool.
Yeah. Then we make our way to Ark. Where a lot of lore and a lot of callbacks in that. A lot of enemies or in the little tubes.
When you knew you were going like back to Raccoon City, didn't you in the back of your mind you're like, all right, where's this hidden lab? Or
there's always a hidden lab. There's always
some sort of fail safe because
nest,
we have to
hive,
nest, we
whatever.
have to go to one of these things.
Got to give it a nice, cool, catchy, sci-fi name, and boom, that's what we got. So we make it to Ark.
A lot of liquors.
And there was this one. Like, did you take? There was this one room. Did you take the time to read? Like, they had like all the enemy types on the little monitors. Did you take the time to read each one?
Yes.
So that was a good little just to read each one, and how much? I guess there's prices on all of them. Like, yeah, I'm like, except for Nemesis. Nemesis did have a price.
Not for sale.
Well, I think that Mr. X Tyrant was like 220 million or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Nemesis was like negotiable or something I don't know. But those were kind of little cool things on there. Reading all that. But yeah, a lot of liquors, and these other zombies.
They had to throw the naked zombies at us.
Yeah.
You got your spider, you got your Plant 43, you got your Mr. X, your Tyrant. Here's another callback. We're gonna have naked zombies for you.
I mean, we get through all that, and then we begin more of the ping pong effect because a lot of the portion of Leon, all the way through the Raccoon City, all through the RPD, we're not ping ponging back and forth like we did with Grace initially, but now once we reach Ark, we're ping ponging back and forth. Because now Leon is starting to feel the effects.
Our boy's not doing too hot.
He's not feeling too good, Mr. Stark. And so you bounce back to Grace. You're doing all these things. And then you get another reveal. And this kind of almost solidified my feeling of it's just clones galore. People thinking that was Hunk that you're going up against. And
there we go.
I think that's a Hunk clone. I'll stand by that. Because Leon easily dispatches of him. And there's more to the lore of through the blood you get transfer memories. So I figure they have Hunk's blood, transferring memories, etc., etc. That's why he makes that one comment, he knows who he is.
Right.
Because Hunk and his crew were there in Raccoon City to steal the G virus from Birkin. So something tells me he was aware of other survivors, such as Claire and Leon. So I'm going to assume he has memories of Leon, so they finally meet, but that's not really Hunk.
He also didn't have the helmet. You know?
Yeah.
Like when I was thinking about this and little things that they may have done to let us think that he's not dead because his body is then gone when you like revisit that area, which I didn't do, but that I saw in a video and I will check out when we do that in my last stream of New Game Plus here.
There's so many evidences, even though it says it's Hunk. I still don't believe it's Hunk. Like I'll stick to that. I don't believe it's him at all. I think it's a clone.
And you see on the hand the RCS with the black on his palm.
Yeah.
So there's also that. But my big thing is like if that was him and they had Leon take him out,
it was too easy.
It was too easy, and I think they know the fan base. He's like the Boba Fett of Resident Evil, you know. The dude we don't know much about. Please don't ruin everything and give us some crazy ass backstory on Hunk.
Maybe he's the mini
Resident
game.
Evil, please. And he's our mystery man, and he's a badass. And it's just like we don't want to see him dead, you know. And if it is him and the body's not there when you revisit, then he got away or whatever the situation is. Who's to say Hunk doesn't have some regenerative capabilities himself at this point? But
it seems like everybody does at this point. That whole situation
was another jaw-dropping. What is RE9 going to pull next moment? You know.
And I know we glossed over a few things. You know, I know we jumped a bit already to the arc portion, but like I know like the backpedal just to cover a couple bases. You know, we had the motorcycle scene with Leon and Victor Gideon. It felt like Vendetta, and like Final Fantasy VII had a baby. That's what it felt like to me.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that was neat. Some people didn't like it or kind of eye rolled at it. I thought it was kind of funny. I didn't mind it. It was tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And then just as a whole of Victor Gideon, like really know so much about him. And I feel that he had the biggest reveal of it all. We'll touch on that when we get close to the end here. For me, I think he had the biggest reveal. But so we're going through the arc. Leon's not looking so good. All these new enemy types we're going against, like these soldier elites, which that section was kind of a pain in the ass.
That was tough. I had a nice 2 for headshot in there.
Yeah. So supposedly, I didn't know this, there's an easy way to get through that portion. Do you know what it is?
Well, my coworker told me he accidentally shot a liquor out.
Yep.
And that
the liquor starts attacking. Yep. The liquor starts attacking the people, the other soldiers. I saw it in the video. I'm like, yeah, if you shoot this, there's a liquor in one of the capsules, the red capsules, busts out, and then boom. It starts because it's attracted by sound. And yeah, kind of helps out Leon.
That is something I'm definitely going to have to do. Like just to test it out and see it happen. Because I'm also interested in the angle of the shot you have to get that thing opened up. But the fact that that's even in there, it's another one of those like little gameplay moments where they give you like options of how you want to, you know, go about a certain action sequence, you know?
Right.
Which is cool and adds to the replayability.
But yeah, so I was like, oh, well, that just makes everything so easy because the guy with the shield was a pain in the ass to shoot around.
Yeah, Riot Shield Man can go kick rocks.
Yeah, so getting a liquor to attack him, to distract him, makes it that much easier. So we're getting through all this, and then we get to Xeno. Because his main goal is to release Elpis. At this point, we have no idea what Elpis is. We're led to believe that it's this horrible thing. That if it's released,
Little cutscene of Spencer being interviewed.
Yep.
You know.
And then you hear more.
That.
And then you hear more backstory of coming to find out that Grace is not really Alyssa and Grace. There's no connection. That's not mother-daughter whatsoever. Not biologically, more like adopted. You find out that, you know, when Spencer dies.
Can I hit on something right there?
Go ahead.
So when that happened, and we found out like she is just adopted and is a normal kid type deal.
Mm-hmm.
That whole angle of the daylight vaccine being in Alyssa Ashcroft, my tinfoil hat moment of this game was thinking that, well, clearly they picked an Outbreak character for a reason. And what do the Outbreak characters have in common? Oh, in an Outbreak, they get the daylight vaccine.
Right.
So I'm thinking that was what they needed the entire game, was Grace's blood, because she had it from Alyssa, and she has this cure, and she's some anomaly type thing.
So you thought this one thing this whole time, and then come to find out, like, everything was a lie.
It's like, oh, that's not going to have any impact on this entire
Nope,
story.
lies.
Which it didn't even bother me, because it was just kind of like, we're ripping that Band-Aid off right now and letting you know that it has nothing to do with anything.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep. So yeah, seeing that little backstory and that little reveal of, like, you know, she's just a normal orphan. Take her when I die. Tell her the truth later on, which Alyssa obviously never gets a chance to tell her the truth because she dies. But leading all the way up to this, like, I guess it's like my only issue in the game, because I have very few issues with RE9, and this is probably a major one. Not major as in like, in oh my god, so bad, but like my only gripe is with the Xeno character. I feel like we just didn't get enough of him to really understand what is going on, because we get the reveal. Yep. As Grace, like, we're led to believe that is that Wesker? Is it not? We don't know. And then takes her away, and then we jump to Leon. And then we don't see Xeno again until the RPD is with Grace. And then we get the little flashback, and they go back to Grace with Xeno, and then Leon confronts Xeno, and we get Mr. X, and then Xeno disappears. I feel like we just didn't get enough of Xeno at all to actually lead to this thing. And I'll be honest, like, between Xeno and Victor Gideon, I feel like they didn't have enough screen time, in all honesty.
I was just about to say that, and that was my view on both those characters, where I thought Gideon was really interesting. He could have carried the whole thing himself, and we didn't necessarily need Xeno.
Right.
And when I started thinking about that, well, what was his purpose? And if anything, it was almost like he was in there because he was voiced by the same voice actor that did Albert Wesker in Resident Evil 4 Remake.
Right.
And they're bringing Wesker back in a way, which then really led me to believe. So we're definitely getting more Wesker or clone or something in either Resident Evil 10, or we're getting Code Veronica or 5, which I know are all that's going to happen at some point. But it's almost like, don't forget about this guy, because even if it's not him, he's still around.
Yeah.
And that was like the whole purpose. And then he's decapitated, you know?
Well, yeah, but back to Victor Gideon, like, we get a lot of them in the very beginning with Grace, and then he just kind of disappears for a while.
Yeah. And he was doing I
almost forgot all about him at one point.
Thing.
Yeah, I almost forgot all about him.
The freaking night vision, doing all of his stuff. All the next phase is up. We're doing this now. Let's go. Like, in his creepiness, and I would have loved more of that character. I really would have. Like, and then the fact that he ends up being like the last boss. It's like we missed a portion of his whole diabolical character that would have been great for the overall like story.
Imagine the new story content that's going to come out in production, like how in RE4 remake we get the separate ways. We get Ada and her point of view, where Leon's doing everything. We get her point. What if we don't get a protagonist? What if we get Victor Gideon? What he's doing in the background, just to mix it up? Who knows? I don't know. I'm just spitballing here at this point, but like,
hell, you could get him and Xeno.
Like it just felt like we got them at the very beginning, and then they disappear for hours on end, and then they pop in again, and then they're gone for more hours again. I'm like, okay, like what the hell? At least in some of the games, like with the constant protagonists, you had that they were constantly there. That you constantly saw them pop up to let you know that hey, we're still here. But at one point, I forgot all about Victor Gideon. As soon as they showed Xeno towards the end of Grace's, you didn't really see Victor again until what, the motorcycle scene? Was that it? You saw him again?
Yeah, you have them in the helicopter, and he's like, "This is your problem."
Yeah, and then
like, you deal with it.
Then he quote unquote dies, but you know he's not.
Yeah, oh yeah. When I was playing that on stream, get to that point, and then you see him slide and he goes down. I'm like, he's not dead.
No, they just want to put him. They just wanted to put him away, because no use for him until the end, which is obviously what happened. But yeah, that was my only gripe. I think they were good villains, but just not enough screen time. Like we didn't really get to know really all that much.
Like they kind of focus more on the characters you're playing as than what was driving the story, which was both Gideon and Xeno, but more so Gideon. Like it definitely was, it to me was like, this is this dude's story, and it really did kind of end up being that way, because in the end we know how that turns out,
right? Like
he is that guy, but more of that would be great. Like more of like even what was going on at Arc with the two of them, you know, like that stuff I want to see. Like what was going on when they took Grace, and like, because she just willingly went, which I thought was insane.
It was kind of strange. Like she's like, oh, okay, Mr. Guy with a cigarette and black blotches all over his face and talking all suave to me. Okay, guess I'll follow you.
I'll get in their helicopter.
Yeah. Take me to an island. But anyway. But yeah. That was like one of the like very few disappointments. Not enough screen time for the villains. So we get to Arc, and Grace leaves Leon because she has to go get to like a she has to go to a what's it called? The word is escaping me. She's got to get like a truck to lift up the whatchamacallit.
Yeah. There's like the crane kind of has.
Yeah, the crane. Yeah, the crane.
Whatever it is.
It's always a crane.
Lift that up. Always. You always got to have like who left this piece of machinery blocking.
How convenient. Yeah, he's not feeling so well, and then just a lot of exploration, a lot of lore in Arc. Like I said, the one room where you see all the enemies, it basically like their little bio and how much they're worth and stuff like that. So they're being sold. The bioweapons are being sold to the highest bidder type thing.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
And all the different types like we were hitting on.
Then we get to the tail end, and we need to figure out Elpis and everything, and then we get into the room. Xeno makes himself known once again because we don't see him for a while. Again, almost forgot about him. And then she's led to believe that she needs to know the password. Which, why is it a password? I don't know, to release something. But anyway, kind of weird. But you're basically left a choice. And for me, I couldn't make that choice. I left that choice to my wife. I didn't know what to pick. I did know there's a right choice and a wrong choice. I did know that much. But I didn't know which was which. So I left her the choice. She picked the right one. We released Elpis. But you, on the other hand, had a different outcome.
Well, you know, I am an agent of chaos. And yeah, we destroyed it. And I felt like releasing it was the right thing to do. But I was spoiled the fact that if you choose the wrong one, you are going to get an immediately like rebuttal option to go back and make the other decision after the credits roll. So I was like, I got to see it. I got to see what happens. And when I saw our poor boy get his head blown off, I was dying because I'm like, that was another thing we were all worried about, was Leon going to die in this game. And if they're ever going to kill off a main character, they're not going to have them die by getting their head blown off. It's going to be a dramatic, slow burn death, so you can really soak it in, not just like a point blank execution and then credits roll. And it's like, was that canon? Of course not.
No.
We had to release the Elpis.
And then
you do that, and it's just like,
you release it, and then Gideon just comes out.
Zeno's reaction is epic in that.
Yeah, because he thought Elpis was the complete opposite, because he already ejected himself with it, or with something, and Elpis basically cured everything, so it took away his powers. And
those Weskers love their needles, man.
Yeah. And then you got Victor Gideon coming out of nowhere, missing an arm. How did he miss that arm? We don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying, what if the DLC content is for Gideon's point of view? Maybe we learn why he lost his arm, or with someone else, and he lost his arm against someone else. People are thinking that might be Ada. That's why we didn't get any Ada in this, which I was surprised that we didn't.
I was shocked. That was one of the biggest shockers of the entire...
No Ada.
The entire game. Not, and then I will say this. If this is like an Ada DLC, it'll be bittersweet because we didn't actually...
We assume that's from the bike fall. We don't know. Did you see his arm come off when he fell? No.
Yeah, that is an assumption. That is an assumption.
You're assuming. Body parts don't fall off of you when you fall. But anyway... So, we get that. He comes out. Him and Zeno have their little spiel back and forth. Like, yeah, we basically used you, you dumb fuck. This was the plan all along. And, like, with one swipe, chops his head off. And
that
then
was also, like, he's dead already?
That's yeah.
My head was that he's dead now?
But, yeah, you saw an explosion, but then his parts should have been everywhere, scattered. Why just the arm?
Yeah, why just the arm?
Why just the arm?
If we're gonna say plot armor there,
come on, guys, it's not that hard.
It would be more of them than that. My man still even had his headgear intact.
Yeah, really. Come on, guys. Like, what are we doing?
Unless he had a spare. Maybe he had a spare.
So, like you mentioned before, people love to eject themselves with needles.
Yep.
And Victor ejects himself.
Got to get that transformation.
And it becomes Doc Ock all of a sudden. And that fight was all right. I didn't mind that fight too much. Especially if you knew the patterns. Like, I think I died twice during that part. So I figured out the pattern. And then after that, it was pretty much easy to avoid and where to go and stuff like that. How was that first portion of the fight for you? Was it pretty easy for you?
It was pretty easy for me. He took me out once, and then I was at like the more like Resident Evil 3 remake Nemesis boss fight there.
Yeah.
Like,
go ahead.
That whole portion leading up to that was cool. Like that fight even. I wanted like more of it though. I'd not like the Warden in Chronos, like not that many stages of the fight.
Yeah, that was like forever, dude.
That was a forever fight. But I would have gone with like one more, but I'm not gonna like be picky about it.
But yeah, so the reveal after you beat him, like the first phase, that Victor Gideon was a nemesis the whole time.
Yeah.
Which, like, okay, did not see that coming. Awesome reveal. Didn't like the fight too much. The fight felt, again, it's Leon. It felt too easy. Like, didn't die one time, and it was that easy.
And
but
he kind of had his Jill Valentine Resident Evil 3 OG moment.
Yes.
With the Requiem at the end, which was really cool.
Like, I love the reveal. Like, oh my God, that's another callback. We got another Easter egg. You know, he injected himself with the Nemesis variant, and okay, would explain a lot. And then the fight was pretty easy. Just no railgun, just shove down his throat. If you want stars, I'll give you stars.
Right.
But yeah, we get through that. And then, yeah, I mean, that was the roll credits for the most part. And then we get the mid cutscene. Because during all this time, which Grace is so infatuated with Emily, worried about her well-being, and Leon tells her, you know, I didn't hit any critical parts, so she might be still alive, which she was, because they recovered her from the rubble. And then I don't know how much of a time jump did they did. Did they mention the time jump from after that into her living with Grace? Do we know how much time?
Did they do a 6 months later?
I don't recall. I don't remember.
I'm not sure. I don't know why I'm thinking that, but I feel like it might be, but I don't know if they officially say.
But yeah.
I mean, what are they going to do with all these kids? Like, you got Natalia from Revelations 2.
Right.
You have Emily from this game. You have Grace from 8. They're going to make like the Teen Titans. Or like there's
the next generation of fighters in the Resident Evil world.
These bioweapon kids are going to be out there doing crazy
Leon's going to
shit.
get the Batman Beyond treatment as old Bruce Wayne. He needs a ward.
Yes.
Train.
What happened?
But yeah, I mean, after all that, roll credits. Now here's another question. So I think it's wasn't the BSAA, it was the other group that recovered something, because the soldiers were looking at something, they recovered it. What do you think that is?
So that was like umbrella soldiers.
I think it's Xeno's head. They found Xeno's head.
Oh yeah, what they're taking?
Yeah. That's my thinking, is they took Xeno's head. They found it after it got chopped off. I don't know. What do you think it is?
I was on that same line. Like, at first, my initial reaction, because you had Leon grab the body footage, you know, from the one BSAA, when you see like Xeno killing everybody. So it was kind of that same vibe, but I was like, well, they're not worried about, this is like Nikolai vibes. They don't care about the battle data. Like, what would they be picking up that's worthwhile? And then that's where my head went, was, oh, it's Xeno's head. That would be.
Because what else could it be?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what's left of Gideon? Would you be getting anything out of that? Like, if anything, having a DNA sample, because he gets shot up with the Elpis, loses his powers, would be for them to get the DNA with the Elpis vaccine to then be like, what can we make that can counteract the Elpis now? Like, would that be what their next thing they would be trying to make, you know?
Right.
Something that can counteract the antiviral that worked.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what they concoct of reasoning behind that.
Gideon's just mush, right? Like, he's
obliterated. There's nothing left.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be the head of Xeno. Like, that's the only thing I could think of possibly that they would recover for whatever reason they decide to pick on.
So then Leon's cured. He has the cure. He's going to cure Sherry. Any off-screen Resident Evil characters that might have it, they're going to get cured.
Yep.
What are the ramifications, though? Like, for Sherry Birkin, who we saw in Resident Evil 6 with regenerative capabilities, but then also had RCS. So it's like, her abilities not effective against RCS, and that's what caused her to get it. And she was also going to be in the same shape as Leon. So then there's Jill, who's been infected with what, like
everything?
How many different things at this point?
It just cancels it out.
Right.
I don't know.
So that'll be interesting to see. Like, I think that is a plot point that they could definitely hit in 10 if we see some returning characters that we didn't see in this one. Maybe a Chris and Jill game or something.
Now, do you think this closes the book of Leon in Resident Evil?
I would say yes, but at the same time, like, no, because maybe not as a main character, but you do have him at the end after he's all cured up. He has a line, and it's something along the lines of, this is the best I've felt in years, you know?
Right.
Does the Elpis vaccine, is that going to have some effects where it slows down his aging or something like that?
Maybe it took away his John Wick-like fighting style and whatever. I don't know.
Leon just has to become an accountant after this. He's like, I don't have.
I think my theory is this. I don't think he's done, in a sense that Capcom will put him in a glass case and they'll break it in case of emergency. Meaning, if the next few like Resident Evil games are not up to par to people, like, all right, we need Leon, break the glass, we need him now. I do think the next RE game to have main characters, it's probably going to be like Claire or Jill, or I don't think it'll be Chris. We already had Chris in 7 and 8.
Yeah,
in a sense. I mean, granted, he wasn't the main portion. He was just a background character. I think people are wanting Jill and Claire. You know, one person definitely wants Jill. But
I need me some Jill. Okay, I need her to return in a main game.
But I feel like Kevlar's like, I want Jill with shoulder pads or no deal. So I don't know. But I don't think that's it for Leon. But I think it's it for him for the time being, probably for the next 5 to 10 years, maybe. Because we're getting other remakes or other games being remade, and then obviously RE10 whenever that comes out in the next 5 to 10 years. So, got a lot of time with that. So, we're at the pros and cons portion of our review. I want to start with Bash.
Yeah.
What did you like? What didn't you like? And then give me your final score.
Sure. Pros, I would say dual protagonists worked out really well. Bullet point in that, Grace's survival horror style gameplay mirrored by, you know, Leon's crazy action segments just flowed really well. Great gameplay on both. Set pieces, nostalgia, definitely pros. Cons for me, I would put in the fact overall story and mainly the villains could have been fleshed out more and have more screen time like we hit on. And no Ada. And we didn't talk about this portion, but I'm going to throw it on there. The BSAA zombies with the guns, that took half a point. I felt like them having guns, it didn't kill anything for me because that whole section with the mortars and everything was totally over the top. But when I'm cool with the zombies with like the blunt objects and stuff, but when you start giving them guns, it's too triggering for me for like RE6. So I was like, please no more of that.
Yeah.
But other than that, no, I would say I give this game a 9 out of 10. I think it did a good job doing multiple things and doing a lot of it really well. And a couple things could have been done better. But those were mainly like story beats purely on gameplay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would give this thing like a 9.5. It would raise it just a half a point, but everything involved in being like a Resident Evil super fan. I think it's a great entry. 9 out of 10. If you're interested in the series, you got to play it, and you won't be disappointed.
So you got the Bash seal of approval there. For me, all those same things. Like the villains, I wanted more. I didn't really have any major nitpicks, really, or major like cons, like, oh god, I can't believe they did this type thing. Like, yeah, the BSAA zombies, that was kind of annoying a little bit. But all in all, yeah, I gave it a 9 out of 10 as well. I am excited to jump back into it. I think I'm gonna try Insanity mode. I don't know if I'm gonna do that on stream or not. I haven't decided on that quite yet. Not surprising not to have Ada was kind of like a letdown. Like, she's always there.
The first Leon game without her.
Yeah, she's always in it. She's always there somehow, and she still might be in a DLC. We don't know, but at this point, no Ada.
Someone's like, she wasn't in Operation Javier. Settle down. It's like that was a scenario within a game.
Yeah, really. Come on now. Yeah, not fighting Xeno, really? No, we didn't get to have any Xeno fights at all. Only in cutscene only. Who do you think Leon is? He's not married to either or. He has no love connection to Claire. And it's definitely not Ada, because she's a fucking flake.
He is wearing a wedding ring, though. You're
no,
right
he is,
that.
but he's not married to, definitely not Claire. There is no connection, love connection whatsoever.
And I'm telling you guys,
and it's more like brother and sister. That's forced fanfic right there.
If I'm telling you guys right now, for the jokes, I'm here for it. But it's also not Sherry Birkin. That would be really weird.
That is weird.
It's not a thing. Kevlar posted on stream about that. He was like, he was grooming her from the start. I was like, bro,
don't ruin my childhood. Why? He's married, but to who? Who knows?
Right?
It could be Ashley Graham for all I know. Who knows?
It's Hunnigan. Him
Maybe.
And Hunnigan are together. That would be dope. I would love that.
Yeah, but it's definitely not Claire.
We're going Hunnigan. At least I am.
Hunnigan, final answer.
Yeah. After that, like it's got to be, right? The one we didn't think about. Honestly, with Elpis in general, going back to a couple things, like I thought that was a cool idea that for once in these games that instead of it being the virus that destroys everything, we're actually going for the antiviral. I thought that was a really cool angle where it's not like, oh, and of course we got to get to the end and grab the sample and do the thing and da-da-da. It's like, oh, we're getting the thing to cure everything. That's awesome. You know, and it ended up being, again, not Grace herself, which I thought this game, a lot of the marketing or the speculation and theory and, you know, even your own theory when you're seeing things and where your mind goes about what connect this to other games and Raccoon City in general. I think it was really neat that they did end up going that route and not making it, we have to make a whole nother virus. We're running out of letters from the alphabet, but we need a whole new virus. So I think it was cool. It's like, no, this is going back to the T virus and people that were exposed to it, and this is the antiviral.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm glad they
idea.
didn't remake a whole new virus strand. Oh no, we forgot about this one. No.
Right.
So thank God for that. But yeah. So yeah, we both scored a 9. I think I'm gonna put this out there in the ether if the people want it, because I know Bash will want it. I think Bash and I need to do another collab. I think we need to do an online, because I already did one on my channel, but I want to do an updated version of it, and I want Bash to be a part of it, to do a tier list of the Resident Evil games.
It's a good idea.
So maybe that's something we'll shoot for towards, later down the road, but doing an updated tier list of all the Resident Evil games and it should be interesting because I know there's some I haven't played, and I'm sure the ones I haven't played Bash has, and vice versa. But,
Right on.
But I feel like we need to make the official Havoc and Bash tier list.
That'll be a good time. That'll be a good time.
Since we played RE9. But I will say this, and Bash can answer this or give an answer. So I've always talked about my Mount Rushmore of Resident Evil games. Before RE9, my Mount Rushmore for me personally, RE2 Classic, RE4 Remake, RE2 Remake, and RE3 Classic. Now, after playing RE9, RE3 Classic has now fallen off my Mount Rushmore. RE9 is now a part of my Mount Rushmore of my favorite Resident Evil games.
Very nice. That's a big honor. That's
It
a
is
legit big honor.
It's now slid into the 4th spot. I'm sure it could go up even higher the more I get to play it, because I've only played it the one time. But right now, it's in the 4th slot.
I remember hearing you say that on stream, and hearing it again now. It had me thinking, and this one for me, it's like so fringe top 5, if not like no, I mean like it's top 5, but like top 4, like maybe because I have really liked it, and I jumped right into New Game Plus early, and I'm not one to immediately do that.
Yeah.
So like for me, that was kind of a big deal, and I am enjoying the variety of gameplay in it. Like we were hitting on, even going back to that fight with those soldiers, letting that liquor out and seeing that whole thing go down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Oh, jeez.
So it's basically your top 5. It's like it's on the fringe.
I would say it's top 5, top 4. Like I'm gonna have to.
Let me predict your initial top 4 or your Mount Rushmore.
Okay,
see if I'm remotely close. I feel that RE4 is on there. Probably both of them. Probably both, for all I know.
They're both not on there now.
Okay, so I feel like you prefer remake more than the original.
I do, and I really I played the original so many times. I just think overall what they were able to add with the remake.
Okay.
I think it okay, go ahead. Continue.
I feel like you put RE1 remake on your list.
It's definitely on there, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to say, is there any duplicates on your Mount Rushmore?
Meaning like classic and...
Yes.
Yes.
So RE2.
Yes.
That's what I figured. Yes, Kevlar, we get it. Jill, Rebecca, Claire, and adult Sherry. We get it.
See, the thing, like, one OG to me is like super special because it's the first one I saw, and I wasn't able to like really play it because I saw my brother playing it, and I was so young. Like everything about that was just like science to me.
Right.
Trying to play that back then, like how do I even move like this? And
yeah, for me, RE1 was the first one I played, but like for me, it did not age well at all.
It did not.
I don't play it. I skip it
in an awkward way.
I skip. I go right to remake. That like it's so much superior than it. It's not even close. If some people find that blasphemous, like it's a night and day between the two, and there's so much added more better content.
OG,
yeah,
like that was the first one I played and was able to play through it, and then I would eventually go back and beat Resident Evil Director's Cut. 3 is one, when I first played that, I only played it on easy mode, and then a couple years later I was able to like play hard and run through that. I really like 3. 3 is like, again, top 5, just it's there. This one's there. Those two for me also. Like for you, it's like the 4 and 5 slot. For me, it's like that 5 slot. Like where does that land? Like I won't put 1 in there because 1 is like 1 OG for me is like a comfort food game.
Right.
Where I hop back in on that, I think just to remind myself how archaic and insane it is that this game is like what started it all.
He's lying, Chad. He's got Umbrella Corps on there in his top 4. He's lying.
In ORC.
Hey, ORC is fun with friends, but you don't have friends telling you to collect every single damn data thing.
We want S ranks.
No, you want S rank. I just want to have a good time. But speaking of good times, again, guys, thank you for watching our review. If you haven't already, which I'm sure most of you, if not all of you here, are not already subscribed to Mr. CBash31, I'm sure one of my lovely mods can post his channel link in there. Drop him a sub. He plays a lot of horror, but he plays a lot more variety of horror compared to me. He plays a lot of Castlevania, obviously Resident Evil. Eventually, he's going to go back to Days Gone. Who knows at this point?
When that happens, yeah, we'll be back on it at some point.
I know this Friday, for Friday the 13th, he's playing the old school NES version of Friday the 13th. I'm going to sit in on that as much as I can because I want to see him just be miserable because that game is a pain in the ass.
Come watch me struggle. Like I've struggled on streams before, but come watch me struggle like I haven't struggled before. This is going to be brutal.
Just throwing rocks.
Yeah, you just see me jumping around, just whipping rocks as everyone else dies around me. I'm like, why is that alarm going off?
Why are these things happening? But yeah, thank you, Sir Bash, for joining me on this one, and I'm sure we'll do many more in the future.
Yeah, this was great. Apologies for the couple of hiccups we ran into in the beginning, but once we got rolling, I think this was a good ass time. So thank you.
It was all on his end. Let it be known it was all on his end. So
that was 50-50 with the PlayStation thing.
I don't know.
I don't know what that was, but I'm glad. Hey, Discord, thank you. We love you.